Hello dear students, how are you? I am Vivek Sharma, your mathematics teacher. I teach class 11th in your school. In this video lecture, we are starting our revision on chapter number first, which is set theory. Before starting, please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Now let us come on the concept of set theory. We know that it is a well-defined collection of objects. The well-defined means perfect collection of objects. For example, the collection of bubbles, collection of natural numbers, collection of whole numbers, collection of integers, rational numbers, etc. So these are the examples of the set. Here, how to represent the set? We have two methods, which is the roster form and the set builder form. In roster form, we write set by using a method which is we write the elements enclosed in a curly braces and separated by commas. Here we have example of this. Similarly, we have a set builder form. It is a general method of presentation of set. In this method, here we list the properties. We represent means if we represent the property, we means all the elements of set. The number of elements which contain in a set must satisfy by a property. For example, here is the set of real number which is greater than 3 and less than 5. So we can write this set as A. Here X means this X is read as the set of all those X which has a property of this. What type of property is? Here X is greater than 3 and less than 5. So we can write this as follows. Similarly, we can write the second example as B is the set of all natural numbers which is less than 6. So here X belongs to n, which is the natural number, and here the X less than 6. So here we are representing the whole set by this X and the property by this. So this is the methods how to represent the types of set. First is the singleton set or unit set. We know that a set which containing only one element, so such set is called as the unit set or singleton set. We have an example for this. Second is the empty set or void set or null set. When a set is not containing any element, so such set is called as the null set, void set or empty set. We represent such set by symbol phi or by this curly braces but no element. For example, we have a set of natural numbers which is less than 1. We know that clearly it is a empty set because every natural number starts with 1, but here in a set it is given that a set of natural number which is less than 1. So clearly it is an empty set. Third set is the finite set. When a number of elements in a set is fixed, or we can say that when contains a specific number of elements, a set which contains the specific number of elements, so it is called as the finite set. Here we have example. Fourth is the infinite set. When a set is not finite, so we know that it is infinite or infinite. For example, we have a set of all natural numbers. We cannot represent the infinite set in roster form. Keep it in your mind. Now let us come on the another. A set A is said to be a subset of set B. Here our topic is subset. I am saying a set A which is the subset of set B in only case when each element of set A is an element of set B. We write it as A is a subset of B. By this symbol we represent it. Here we have example, we have a set A, we have a set B. So clearly we can see that all the elements of set A is contained in set B. So we can see that A is a subset of B. Here number of subsets of a set is represented by formula 2 raised to the power n, where n is the number of elements in a set. Phi is the subset of every set. It is an exceptional case, and every set is a subset of itself. Please keep these points in your topic, which is power set. It is the collection of all subsets of a given set. Then it is called as the power set of a given set. For example, here when we make a subsets of any set, then the collection of all subsets of a given set is called as the power set of that given set. For example, here we have a set A. We know that the number of subsets of a set is given by 2 raised to the power n. Here n is the number of elements in a set which is 3. So here we can make 8 subsets of a set A. So these are the subsets of a set. So when we collect all the subsets of a set A and enclose in a curly braces, so we get a collection of subsets of a set A. So this is called as the power set of. Now let us come on the universal set. Here we can understand this set by, we have a 3x set. This is set A, this is set B, this is set C. The combination of 3 sets makes a universal set. So this is the universal set, which is the superset of all sets. Another topic which is Venn diagrams. It was given by the John Venn from 1834 to 1883. It shows the relationship between the sets by using diagrams. Here in Venn diagram, we represent our set by circle and the elements which is contained in a set by points within it, and universal set, which is the superset of all sets, is represented by rectangle. For example, we have a example here. This is the universal set which starts with 1, 2, 3 and up to 8. Here A another set and B is another set. Here B is a subset of A, so its Venn diagram is given by this diagram. So this shows that B is a subset of A and whole B and A occupied in the set U, which is represented by a rectangle. So this is the concept of another topic which is proper subsets. If A and B are the two sets such that every element of set A is in B, but there is at least one element of B which is not in B, then A is called the proper subset of B. Means that we have a two sets, set A and set B. Suppose that all the elements of set A is contained in set B, but there is some element in set A which does not contain in set B. So in that case we say that A is a proper subset of B, or we can say that B is a superset of A. Mathematically written, it can be written as A is a subset of B and A is not equal to B, then we can say that A is called the proper subset of B. Here we have an example. This is set A, this is set B. All elements of set A belongs to set B. But here the 4, which is an element of set B, does not contain in set A. So in that case we can say that A is a proper subset of B. Now let us come on another topic which is equal set. Suppose that we have a two set A and B. A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. Then we can say that A is equal to B, or we can say that we have a two sets A and B. If the number of elements in set A and the number of elements in set B are equal and same, then in that case we say that two sets are equal. For example, we have A and B. A is a subset of B, B is a subset of A. We can see that. So here we can say that A is equal to B. Another is equivalent set. Two sets are equivalent if they have exactly the same number of elements. Means that we have a two sets A and B. If the number of elements in set A is equal to the number of elements in set B, so we can say that two sets are equivalent. Here we have an example, which is here. This is the set A and this is the set B. Both sets are different, but the number of elements in set A is equal to the number of elements in set B. So we can say that A is equivalent to set B. So these are the topics which we need to understand, which is intervals as subsets of R. On real line, we have various types of infinite sets which are designated as intervals, which is defined as follows. First is the closed interval. Here closed interval is represented by this set. Here x belongs to real number when x is greater than equal to A and less than equal to B. So we call this is as a closed interval, and we represent the such interval by this. This is the closed interval. This is the rectangular bracket. Here and B both are enclosed. Graphically, we can represent here on the number line this A and B. Here the dark circles represent that A and B both are included. For example, we have a set this. So this closed interval we can write in this form. Open interval by open bracket A comma B. B represented as this. X belongs to R. Here X is greater than A and lesser than B. So on the graphical representation on the number line, here these encircling A and B means A and B are not included in the set. So this is the representation of the open interval. Here this is an example of open interval. Now let us come on the semi-open interval. One side is open and another side is closed. This is the semi-open interval. This is the semi-closed interval. The one side is closed and at the end it is open, to be represented by this set. So here we have an example. Write the following as intervals. Here we have a set which is set builder form. X belongs to R and the X is greater than 4 and less than equal to 6. So this is the semi-open interval. So we can write in this form. Similarly, another set we have X belongs to R and here X is greater than equal to 3 and lesser than equal to 4. So this is the closed interval. So we write it as in this form. Write the following interval in set builder form. So we have a following intervals. We have to write in the set builder form. So we have a, this is the open interval. So we write in this form. This is the closed interval. We write in this form, and this is the semi-open interval. So we write it in this form, and the graphical representation here. So this is the clear understanding of the topic of intervals of our subsets of. Now let us come on another topic, which is operation on sets. As we do addition, subtraction, multiplication and division on a pair of number to find another number. Similarly here we perform some operations on the two sets to get another third set. So here first is the union of two sets, that A and B are two sets. So the union of set A and B is represented by this symbol. Here A union B, here U is the symbol which represents the union of two sets. By here A union B is represented by set which is here X belongs to A or X belongs to B. For example, we have a set A, we have a set B. So the A union B is given by this set. So Venn diagram, the shaded portion here represents the A union B. Second is the intersection of two sets. The intersection of sets A and B is the set of all elements which are common to both A and B. Here this symbol represents the intersection between the two sets. Here A intersection B is given by this set. Here X belongs to A and X belongs to B, which is common to both set A and B. Here we have an example set A and there set B, so we get A intersection B, which is the common elements between the A and B. And the Venn diagram represents, here this area represents the A intersection B. Now let us come on the third topic, which is the difference of two sets. The difference of the sets A and B in this order is the set of elements which belongs to A but not belongs to B. Here we write it as A difference B, means we can say as A minus B. So A minus B, it is the set of those elements here where X belongs to A and X do not belongs to B. So here we have an example. This is the set B. This is the set B. So here we have to find B minus B and B minus B. So here we can see that the V minus B is the set which contains E and O, means the set of those elements here which belongs to V but do not belongs to B. Similarly here we have a B minus V. So this is the example for the clear understanding of the operation on set. Now let us come on another topic. Here we have a formula. We will use this formula in the practical applications of the set theory. If A and B are two finite sets or finite sets, then the number of elements in A union B is equal to number of elements in A set plus number of elements in set B minus number of elements in A intersection B. So here we have a relation. We use this relation in some questions in the practical applications of set theory. For example, we have if X and Y are two sets such that X union Y has 50 elements, X has 28 elements and Y has 32 elements. So how many elements does X intersection Y? So we write all the informations, we apply the formula, this relation. So we get the number of elements in X intersection Y is 10. Now here we have another example. In a school there are 20 teachers who teach mathematics or physics. Of these 12 teach mathematics and 4 teach both physics and mathematics. How much teach physics? First of all, in the question we have given that here 20 teachers in a school which teach mathematics or physics, and in of these 12 teach mathematics only and 4 teachers are those who teach both physics and mathematics. So we have to find out how many teachers in a school who teach physics. So here M represents the set of teachers who teach mathematics, P represents the set of teachers who teach physics. As we have given that we have a 20 teachers who teach mathematics or physics. So this representation the union. So we write as number of elements in M union P. Here M is set of teachers who teach mathematics and P represents set of teachers who teach physics. So either M or P means, so here it is equal to 20. Similarly, the number of teachers who teach mathematics is 12. The number of teachers who teach both mathematics and physics is 4. We have to find number of teachers who teach physics. So by using formula, we see that the number of teachers who teach physics is 12, which is the required. Today in this video lecture, we have revised the concept of set theory with some examples. Please revise the chapter number first set theory at your home. If you feel any problem, so you can write in the comment box of my YouTube channel, and please follow the Vivek's classes for your problems. Please take care of yourself and of your family members.